Have you noticed this happening more and more around you? A friend gets a tattoo, then another. Someone at work rolls up their sleeve and shows fresh ink. Your social media feed starts filling with designs, symbols, quotes, and full-arm artwork. It almost feels like everyone is adding permanent marks to their story. And then there is you. No tattoos, no hidden symbols, just clear skin. And somehow people look at you like you are the unusual one. Pause on that for a moment, because this small social shift tells us something important about human psychology. We now live in a time where tattoos are widely accepted. In many age groups, especially millennials, nearly half have at least one tattoo. What used to be rare is now normal. What used to be bold is now common. But here's a question most people never explore. We hear endless explanations about why people choose tattoos: self-expression, meaning, memory, identity, art, emotion. But why do some people never get one at all? Not even a small one, not even once. Is it fear? Is it indecision? Is it judgment? Or is something more complex happening under the surface? The truth is, the psychology behind staying tattoo-free is deeper than it appears. And once you understand it, you start seeing these choices very differently. Let's start with how different people think about time. Some people live mostly in the present moment when making decisions. They ask, do I like this now? If the answer is yes, they move forward. Other people automatically think far ahead. Their mind travels into the future before they commit in the present. They imagine themselves years from now and try to feel what that future version of them might think. Psychologists describe this as feeling connected to your future self. In simple words, it means how real and important the future you feels in your mind today. For people with a strong future connection, permanent decisions carry extra psychological weight. A tattoo is not just a design, it is a lifetime mark chosen in one chapter of life that will remain through many other chapters. For them, it can feel like making a lifelong decision on behalf of a future person they have not fully met yet. Imagine choosing a song today and knowing it will play every day for the rest of your life. Even if you love the song now, your mind might hesitate. Not because the song is bad, but because your taste may change. This is not weakness, it is long-range thinking. Some minds are built to scan the road far ahead before they take a step. You might notice this pattern in other areas too. These are often the same people who read terms carefully, think before signing, and replay outcomes in their head before committing. They are not stuck, they are time-aware. There is another layer connected to this. Human personality is not fixed. Research shows that values, preferences, and identity can shift a lot across the years. The things that feel deeply meaningful at age 20 may feel distant at age 40. Life experience reshapes priorities. Some people are very aware of this reality. They do not assume their present self will stay the same forever. So before making a permanent body decision, they mentally test future regret. They imagine different life stages and ask, will this still feel like me then? It is like running a simulation before pressing confirm. Think of it like previewing a purchase in every possible situation before buying it. Cold weather, hot weather, formal events, old age, different careers, different cities. Many people decide first and reflect later. These individuals reflect first and decide later. That difference alone can explain a lot. Now let's talk about identity. How people see themselves on the inside. Some individuals experience identity as solid and clearly defined. They feel stable in who they are. Symbols, marks, and permanent art can feel like a natural extension of that stable identity. But others experience identity as flexible and evolving. They see themselves as a work in progress, always adjusting, always learning, never finished. For them, locking a symbol onto their body can feel like freezing a moving story. Picture writing your life with a pencil instead of a pen. You value the ability to edit, adjust, and rewrite parts as you grow. A tattoo can feel like switching from pencil to permanent marker. Not wrong, not bad, just uncomfortable for a personality that values inner movement. These people often say things like, I am still changing, or I don't want to label myself too early. Their hesitation is not about the design, it is about preserving psychological flexibility. At the same time, honesty matters here too. Flexibility can be healthy growth, but sometimes it can also hide fear of commitment. Only the individual can tell which one is true in their case. The same behavior can come from wisdom or from avoidance. The outside looks identical. The inside motive makes the difference. There is also a strong social awareness factor that rarely gets mentioned openly. Even though tattoos are mainstream now, social perception has not completely disappeared. Context still matters. Certain industries, cultures, and formal environments environments still attach meaning to appearance. Some people are naturally more aware of how choices affect how they are perceived. They think about reputation, first impressions, and long-term image. Before making a visible permanent change, they ask practical questions. How will this be read by people who don't know my story? How will this look in professional settings? Will this send a message I cannot control? To them, a tattoo is not only personal, it is also public. It is like wearing a message on your body that speaks before you do. These individuals often prefer choices they can adjust later. A haircut grows back, clothing changes, accessories can be removed, permanent marks cannot. This is not always about fear of judgment. Often it is about keeping future options open. Some people optimize for expression, others optimize for flexibility. Both are valid strategies. They simply reflect different priorities. There is another quiet reason some people remain tattoo-free, and it comes from personal philosophy. For some, unmarked skin is a deliberate choice, not an accident, not hesitation, a belief. They feel that meaning does not need a physical symbol to be real. Love does not need a written name. Memory does not need a visible sign. Identity does not need an external stamp. They prefer internal anchors instead of external ones. Think about how different people store value. Some keep printed photos everywhere. Others keep a few images in a drawer. Others keep everything in memory. The feeling can be equally strong in all three cases. Expression style is not equal to emotional depth. Some people connect this with a minimalist mindset. Keep what matters, remove what is not necessary. Let the inner life carry the weight, not the outer display. For them, clear skin feels complete, not empty. It is like a quiet room that is peaceful rather than blank. There is also a cultural myth worth examining. We often hear an unspoken message that tattoos automatically represent depth, courage, or emotional intensity. But psychology does not support such simple shortcuts. A visible symbol does not automatically measure invisible feeling. Someone can be heavily tattooed and emotionally shallow. Someone can have no tattoos and be emotionally profound. Outer marks are not reliable depth indicators. Behavior, empathy, integrity, and self-awareness reveal far more than symbols do. It is similar to how loud speech does not always mean strong truth, and quiet speech does not mean weak conviction. Volume and depth are not the same thing. When you put all these layers together, the picture becomes clearer. A person who never gets a tattoo may be guided by future-focused thinking, awareness of personality change, flexible identity, social strategy, or minimalist philosophy. Often it is a mix, not just one reason. None of these are boring explanations. They are thoughtful ones, and it is important to keep balance here. Choosing tattoos can also come from deep reflection and personal meaning. This is not a comparison of who is better. It is an exploration of different mental paths. Human decisions grow from different internal maps. Here is something worth noticing in daily life. We tend to judge visible choices quickly because they are easy to see, but invisible decisions, the things people choose not to do, can carry just as much intention. Not buying something is a decision. Not replying is a decision. Not marking the body is also a decision. Absence can be active, not passive. A blank page can be a choice, not a lack. So in the end, the most important psychological question is not whether someone has tattoos or not. The better question is this: was the choice conscious? Was it aligned with personal values? Was it made from clarity instead of pressure? Because real authenticity is not measured in ink or an empty skin. It is measured in self-honesty. Some people express identity by adding symbols. Others express identity by keeping space. Both can be thoughtful, both can be real, and sometimes what a person decides not to place on their body tells you just as much about their mind as what they choose to display. Your choices speak, even the quiet ones.